45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back.
Alabama.
38 pounds and 80 yards.
And the latest in high school sports.
Yes, he is. Touchdown.
It's Sportz Blitz Live now. Brought to you by S&S Discount Tire and JR's Sports Bar and Grill.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome in to the latest edition of Sportz Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Luke Robinson, and we'll be with you until 9 o'clock, taking your phone calls, discussing everything going on in the world of sports, and it's kind of a dead time right now. To be quite honest with you, there is not a lot going on.
Thanks a lot, Cleveland.
Yeah, really. But there is, Golden State did capture their second NBA title in the last 3 years, defeating the Cavaliers 4-1. A lot of talk about that. We'll talk about that here in the first segment. LeBron James now 3-5 in NBA Finals. The College World Series field is set. 3 SEC teams make it through, LSU, Florida, and Texas A&M. That begins this weekend on Saturday. We'll talk about those matchups a little bit later in tonight's program. Rafael Nadal steamrolls Stanislav Wawrinka on his way to his 10th French Open final. Just an incredible the way he dominates on clay. The Pittsburgh Penguins capture the Stanley Cup. Crosby wins the Conn Smythe, whatever that means.
Sure.
And the U.S. Open will get underway this Thursday at Erin Hills Golf Club in Erin, Wisconsin. Ever been to Erin, Wisconsin?
No, I've been to Wisconsin. I've never been to Erin, Wisconsin.
How's the cheese?
It's very good.
Okay. Hard cheddar?
That's all it's cracked up to be.
All right, well, the NBA playoffs. For all the talk about, how the series could have gone, really, the Cavaliers kind of let Game 3 get away. The Warriors kind of win it right at the end with a big three by Kevin Durant. But in the end, this series was dominated by Golden State. They won 4-1. Outside of just a kind of miraculous, everything started falling. It was one of those nights for the Cavaliers. They had a record, 49 in the first quarter. Other than that, I guess it could have gotten a little bit testy for Golden State because, a good first quarter again for the Cavs last night, but a monster second quarter for Golden State. Really, they cut it, to maybe 3-4 points, but I don't think anybody ever really thought after that anybody else was going to win besides the Warriors.
Yeah, and look, there are still a lot of folks out there. For instance, I listened to another program out of the Auburn area, and yesterday they were talking about how I'd rather have it where there were a bunch of teams around 500 and you don't know who's going to win the title. Really? That's what you want? You want a bunch of teams that are okay. They're not bad, but they're not good. I'd rather have these two teams go at it every single year and know that we're going to get it and have the rest of the playoffs be bad. The NBA playoffs are just like everything else. They've got too many teams in there. We don't need the playoffs, a 7-game series, to prove that Oklahoma City doesn't belong in the playoffs and can't win an NBA championship. We know this. They're not good. They've got Russell Westbrook, and that's it. We don't need to know that the Atlanta Hawks. We don't need a playoff to know that Atlanta Hawks can't win an NBA championship. We know this. They couldn't win an NBA championship when they had good teams. They darn sure ain't doing it now. In the end, the two teams that we all wanted to meet met, and one of them seems to be head and shoulders above the other one. Now, what is Cleveland going to do to answer is going to be the question, because nobody ever lets you enjoy a championship anymore. It's already about what's going to happen next year. I think it's going to be trouble for the rest of the NBA because Golden State isn't going anywhere, and I'm totally fine with it. I'm also sick of everybody talking about Kevin Durant chasing rings. Isn't that what everybody does? If you're not chasing rings, what are you doing? Just cashing checks? Everybody should be chasing a ring. And Kevin Durant just made the move that gave him the best chance to win a championship. And to his credit, he did it, and he became the leader of that team. Steph Curry was the unquestioned leader. Kevin Durant comes in this series especially. He takes over. He is the star. He's the MVP. He deserves everything he got. And in terms of people giving him a hard time for leaving Oklahoma City and going to Golden State, what would you do? You still get paid plenty of money, and then you get to play for a better team. I don't want to be a perennial 5 seed for the rest of my career, and I'm sure Kevin Durant doesn't either. He got to be the number 1 seed on the best team. It's just like we were talking before the show started. Why did players keep going to Miami and Florida State back in the 80s and 90s in football? Why do they go to Alabama now? Why do they go to Kentucky in basketball? Why do they go to North Carolina in basketball? Is it just because they're chasing rings? No, they want to win. And they want to compete, and they want to be a part of something special. And Golden State is arguably the best team that's ever been. Arguably. I'm not saying
They're
they
in
are.
the conversation. You can
they
have
are
the argument.
certainly in the conversation.
You can have the argument.
They went 16-1 in the playoffs. And no, I don't think the first 3 rounds were very good. I don't think they played anybody worth a darn, specifically San Antonio, who lost their best player. So they didn't play anybody great, but they handled their business. And frankly, it's like you said, if Cleveland hadn't played the perfect game in Game 4, it would have been another sweep. Now, that being said, if Cleveland hadn't screwed up Game 3, this could have been a lot tighter. And I really wanted to see this series go the distance, but it just wasn't meant to be. Golden State is that good. I enjoy watching them. They're a lot of fun. The ratings were at a 19-year high. Now, all the ratings in the regular season and in the playoffs before that were pretty low. They were very, very low. But this finals, 19-year high. I mean, it just tells me this is who we wanted to see. If we had seen Boston play San Antonio in the finals, I'm not watching it. You're not watching it. Nobody's watching it unless you're in O'Malley's bar at the Alamo.
I might watch. I like the Spurs. I might have watched that.
You wouldn't watch the Spurs without Kawhi Leonard play Boston without Isaiah Thomas. There's no chance.
That's probably true.
There's no chance.
But it would have been. What you could have argued? Could you argue that it would have been a better series?
No,
because it would have gone 7 games.
Listen, it's not a good series because one team won 4-1. We saw the best that the NBA has to offer.
That's for sure.
And I don't think because a series goes 7 games between 2 bad teams and it's who can screw up the least that the series is better. Do you see what I'm saying? Sure. Like if you have 2 bad players play 1-on-1 and it's just one of them accidentally throws the ball off another one's head and it goes in the hoop to win it, that's not better than watching LeBron play Kevin Durant. And no matter what the score is. LeBron and Kevin Durant are so much more skilled than everybody else. And they're the best at what they do. And it just so happens that Kevin Durant's on the better team right now. I thought these finals were fine. I thought they were a lot of fun to watch. I watched every one of them. And I can promise you, if some other team had made it, besides Cleveland or Golden State, I might not have tuned in at all.
They'd have been a sweep.
Oh, I think either one of these teams would have swept anybody else they played.
I don't think there's any question.
Because just like Golden State only lost 1 game to Cleveland on what was pretty miraculous, Cleveland, before this series, only lost to Boston in the same fashion. So, both these teams just ran roughshod, according to Chicago Bob Parlay, who used to be on this program, over the rest of the NBA.
Well, LeBron James did practically everything he could do. I mean, he averaged a triple-double. I mean, Kyrie Irving, he showed up and put the points on the board, especially in Game 3 and 4. But the difference this year and last year, one of the many differences, but Kevin Durant just kind of canceled him out, and you have everybody else. Everything talking about coming into the series, it was that the Cavaliers had assembled a better bench, and that was going to be the difference. Game 5, Golden State's bench, 35 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. The Cavaliers bench, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Yeah. Now, 20 of that's on Iguodala. You talk about, the 6th man of the year. He was like him last year.
I love Iguodala. I've always loved him since college. He's just a great player. He's got the longest arms I believe I've ever seen on a human being. He's a lot of fun. It was a fun series. It was a fine series. It doesn't mean that it wasn't good because Golden State won 4-1. It just doesn't mean that. These were the best 2 teams, and there was no question about it. Golden State's just a lot better, and kudos to them. Now Cleveland's got to do something to answer. And I don't think the NBA's got a problem at all. I've heard a couple of people say that the NBA's got a problem with parity. I think sports are better when there are dynasties to shoot for. The Patriots are pretty dynastic when it comes to the NFL, right?
Absolutely. Well, look, the Yankees in 98, 99, 2000 piqued my interest. I mean, I was into baseball more than any other period because I hated them so much.
Exactly. Baseball's better when the Yankees are good. College football's better when Alabama, Notre Dame, USC, Texas, Michigan, Ohio State, those teams are good. And it doesn't have to be all of them at once, but it's obviously not. But it needs to be some of them. You can't just have Boise State be your bell cow. It doesn't work. Oklahoma State. It doesn't work that way. It's fine for them to peek their heads out and be a contender every now and again, but you don't want them to be the one that everybody's tuning in for, because it's not going to happen. They're going to tune in to watch you beat Notre Dame. They're going to tune in to watch you beat Texas. That's how that works. You're going to watch the Yankees because you want somebody to beat them. But kind of in your heart, you hope they win, because if the Yankees are losing, you feel like all of baseball is losing. And the same thing in football. Pro football is probably different than anything else, because first of all, there's such a small sample size. There's only 16 games, and the last few weeks you can take some games off, like they can rest players, et cetera, et cetera. But the other sports, you need somebody to shoot for. It's so much more fun in the college basketball tournament when there is 2 or 3 teams that you hope get there.
The Boston Celtics, #1 pick. The Lakers have the number 2 pick. Lonzo Ball is out there. De'Aaron Fox is out there. There's I forget which the #1 kid is. Nobody knows. Nobody knows his name.
Is it Markelle Fultz
I
from
think
Washington?
that may be right. Yeah. But you talk about the Celtics and the Lakers. Lakers have had several high draft picks. They're talking about making some trades, helping out Isaiah Thomas. You get that #1 pick in Boston. If the Lakers and the Celtics could start challenging in the East and the West, a Cleveland and a Golden State, the NBA really could be cooking then.
Yeah, and what is on tonight, 30 for 30? It's Lakers and Boston. It's a 2-part series. And you know what? Those are 2 dynasties that were going head-to-head. They were so much better than everybody else in the NBA. It was a catastrophe when Houston ended up beating L.A. in that Western Conference Finals that year, and Houston went to the finals instead of Los Angeles. I remember watching those games. I was staying with my aunt and uncle. My parents had gone out of town, and I remember watching one of those games going, I was a young boy, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. I know Boston's a lot better than this other team. I wanted to see the Lakers. I hated the Lakers. I hated Boston too. But when those 2 teams got together, I loved watching the basketball because they were so passionate.
You're a Houston guy.
I became a Houston guy later. I loved Olajuwon. And I loved Ori. And when Ori was there.
Yeah.
This was pre-Ori. Now, Olajuwon was there, but Ralph Sampson was there too. And I think that was the series that Sampson caught a ball and sort of shot it backwards, and it went in and whatever. But I feel like I knew Houston wasn't good enough to beat Boston, so I wanted to see LA play. I want to see the best play the best. That's what I always want to see. I don't want to see the Cinderella team, because the Cinderella team's only good when they lose at the last second.
So you say. Up against the break here, but don't go anywhere. We are just getting started on this Tuesday edition of Sportz Blitz Live. We'll be back with more presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill right after this.
Comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced heat and air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's Trane dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Auburn Opelika has that perfect something for you. From sophisticated chic boutiques to exceptional dining, there's a retailer or restaurant to make your next visit special. Whether it's elegant fine dining or freshly squeezed lemonade, you'll find the perfect fit for every taste and budget. The food's great and the shopping is too. So be sure to check out the wide array of gifts, decor, clothing, and more. For every occasion, Auburn Opelika has what you're looking for. Let's make your next trip memorable. Visit Auburn Opelika.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just $1 down. Plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just $1 down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized E-Z-GO cart dealer that has no limits on a perfect E-Z-GO cart. Whether it's a fully customized cart or a stock-made cart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best E-Z-GO carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Bice Motors in Alexander City. Brian and his crew offer the latest lines of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, as well as the best used inventory around. Guaranteed lowest price. Bice.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock. Give us a call, 256-234-6221, if you got any comments about any of the things that we talk about, or if you'd like to bring up a new topic, by all means. We're going to play a little fill in the blank now. It's a game that we play just kind of randomly bouncing around the topics going on in the sports world. This Warriors dynasty is blank. I think you can call it a dynasty. 3 straight finals, 2 championships in 3 years.
That when I first was filling out my fill in the blank, I was going to put is not a dynasty. But then I thought, you know what? I think it is a dynasty, and I think it's impressive. Because here's the thing. They win it the first year. They come back last year. They're up 3-1. I mean, for all intents and purposes, they should be three-peating. This should have been a three-peat. But they come back this year. They blow everybody out. They really handle Cleveland with relative ease. Kevin Durant comes in, and everybody can talk about chasing rings. You know, what's harder? Is it harder to be very talented and then sneak up on everybody and win something? Or is it harder to have the pressure from the moment you sign the paperwork that you're going to Golden State and come in and exceed everybody's expectations? I think Kevin Durant was better than people thought he would be, considering especially he missed a good part of the year.
Now, how many times does this not work out? Yeah. When something like this, I mean, LeBron James goes to Miami. Did they win a title that first year? No.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that is difficult. I think that's you make a good point. That's very underrated for him to just come in, and for Golden State, for that matter, to say, okay, you are the guy. You can lead us.
I'm going to tell a story really quickly that I learned my lesson about this. When I was playing in basketball league in Birmingham one time, and I had played enough where I got to be a captain, so we had a draft system where, you know, it's just you had 8 teams, and it's just luck of the draw what pick you get. And I was At the time, I was a pretty good player. I had the first pick. I got the first pick in the draft. I picked a guy that played linebacker at UAB. He could dunk it any way you wanted to. He could shoot it from anywhere. Then on my pick coming around, I got a guy that is good, but he is maybe a little past his prime, but he played basketball at Marist College, okay? And the next pick coming back around, I got another guy who was a very, very good guy. He didn't play basketball collegiately, but really strong. And then I got another guy who was a point guard for Samford at one time, okay? I had 4 guys on my team in that league who at one time had scored 50 points individually, okay? The first game we beat the team we played, I'm going to say by 70 points, and we scored 130 points. We ended up going 500 in the league, and we lost in the first round of the playoffs. We didn't have enough basketballs to go around, and nobody knew what to do. Point being that you can put all the talent out there, but if you don't have the chemistry, and if you don't have somebody that takes control and says, you're going to do this, I mean, I know you're used to scoring a bunch, but you got to rebound now. And you're going to do this, I know you're used to rebounding, but you got to block shots now. And you got to play defense, you got to pass. It's not going to work. You can have the most talent in the world. I mean, look, the 2010 Alabama team's a pretty good example. That may arguably be Nick Saban's best team, and they lost 3 games. They were missing something, a key component that kept them from being great. And so kudos to the Warriors who bring in a guy who averages a lot, who's used to shooting a lot. They've already got 2 other guys in the Splash Brothers who shoot all the time. Like Spalding literally can't keep up with the nets. They had an article about how they do all this testing of the nets, but it can't keep up with 2 weeks of Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. So it's really a tribute to the coaching staff, who also missed a lot of time this year, by the way, to be able to get those guys to play together, because it's not easy just to put a bunch of talent on the floor and say, go for it. How many times, Team USA that first year was awesome. It was, a couple Olympics later, we didn't even win the gold? What are we doing not winning the gold? We got the best players.
Yeah, how about Mike Brown for MVP?
Yeah.
Stepping in and not missing a beat. LeBron James' 3-5 record in NBA Finals is blank.
It's not as bad as you think. Everybody's talking about, well, Jordan never lost one. Well, Jordan didn't go to 8. I'm a Jordan guy, but Jordan didn't go to 8 finals. And you can say, well, he missed that 1 year because of the gambling thing. Well, he missed a year for a gambling thing. LeBron James hadn't been gambling. So I feel like it's not that bad that he's 3-5. When you consider one of them he was playing against the Spurs, and it was LeBron James and the Jamesettes. I mean, there was no chance. They weren't even the Jamesettes. It was like
they had no chance.
It was Hall and Oates without Hall. It just wasn't going to work. Yeah. And so they had no shot. And then they were a what? They had a good.
They lost to the Mavericks.
They did lose,
and one of those was a gift from the Spurs.
But wait a minute.
That's what kind of.
Wait a minute, but LeBron wasn't on the team that lost to the Mavericks.
Yes, he was.
In Miami?
Miami, yeah.
I don't think
they lost to the Mavericks.
No, I think he wasn't on that team. I don't think
he was on that Miami team.
If he was on that team, wow, I'm missing that. I mean, like I've blocked that from my memory.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
The first one in Miami.
But he okay. So he lost 5 series, and he lost one. He's lost 2 of them to the Warriors, who we think are one. It's definitely the best dynasty we've seen in the NBA in a while. Now the Spurs, longevity-wise, but they'd win it, and they wouldn't. Then they wouldn't do it. Then they'd win it, and then they wouldn't do it. It seems like they are, and they wouldn't be in the finals the next year or something. The Warriors have been there, and they were up 3-1 last year, and they should have put it away then.
They lost to the Mavericks.
Okay, back then Dirk was not bad.
I'm just saying, and if Ginobili hits a free throw, or somebody gets a rebound,
they
lose. He's 2-6.
If Ray Allen,
I'm just saying,
if Ray Allen doesn't hit a 3-pointer, they lose to the Spurs.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm not disputing the fact that the man is just unbelievable at playing basketball. He is. He's the second greatest player I've ever seen, most talented player I've ever seen. But there's just something to be said.
Look. And you asked me to fill in the blank. I'm saying it's not as bad as you think.
I think.
How many other people have been to 8 finals? You know,
probably.
Do you know?
Well,
I mean, and if it's all about the number of rings you have, is Robert Horry better than Michael Jordan?
Of course not.
Okay, I mean, it's sometimes you're right.
Does he
place.
have more than 6?
Robert Horry?
Yeah.
Oh, he had like 8. He's got a lot of rings. Robert Horry's got rings everywhere, man. He had to get his ears pierced.
All right, let's do one really quick, and then we'll take a break. Did you see the Sports Information Director's All-SEC team?
Yes.
Okay. The biggest snubs.
On AL.com.
On AL.com.
Yeah.
The Sports Information Directors did an All-SEC offense and defense. Who are the biggest snubs on that team?
I have one that I feel is very legit, and I have another that I feel like you could make the argument for. My one that I would really think they snubbed is Antonio Callaway, the wide receiver from Florida. Now, the first team receivers I was cool with. I think it was Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley. I mean, those two guys are awesome. It's hard not to put them on there. But you don't put Callaway on the second team. Now, maybe you are holding something against him because his little run-in with the authorities here recently. And then the other guy that I thought was Bo Scarborough. And look, I listened to Sports Call yesterday, and I heard them whine about Cam Petway not being on the first team. I don't think he should be on the first team. I'm not 100% sure he should be on the second team. He's a good player. He's not fantastic. I mean, he put up a lot of yards in a 6-game stretch against bad defenses. And then he got hurt. And Bo Scarborough got hurt too, but he played some pretty doggone good teams. I mean, he put up big numbers against Washington, big numbers against Clemson. And until he got hurt. So I think you could make that argument, but in the end, Cam Petway, the longevity of the season certainly makes him more viable, I think. So I took that one off the list, but I think you could make the argument if it's just about projections.
Well, Cam's going to either prove you really wrong or really right this year.
But first of all, I'm not sure that's 100% because it's sort of like saying, well, you think this Baylor quarterback's no good. Well, they throw it, or Texas Tech's quarterback's no good.
So if he leads the SEC in rushing, you just say, well, that's a fluke.
No, I don't know that. If he leads the SEC in rushing, I'll say kudos. I still don't think – I've seen him get caught from behind too many times to say he's a great back, okay?
Well, if that's all it takes to be a great back is to outrun everybody.
No, I think you need to have the speed, the power, the durability, which, frankly, that's something he's lacked.
I agree. I mean, he'll get caught at the goal line. That'll happen. But I'll take him. We're going to take a quick break.
Well, you got to.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more right after this.
Reinhardt Lexus brings exciting offers with rates as low as 0%, rebates for college grads and military, and low monthly payments. The time to save is now at Reinhardt Lexus, where you'll feel like family.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Relief has a new address in Alexander City. Main Street Family Urgent Care is now open across from Walmart on Highway 280. From cuts, broken bones, strep throat, and flu, they can help you heal and feel better fast. Open 8 to 8 Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 on Saturday, and 1 to 6 on Sunday.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Don't you know there's no clean like Peaches and Clean?
Wow, your carpets look fantastic.
Yeah, thanks to Peaches and Clean.
They look new again.
They also clean my kitchen tile.
Simply amazing. I'm calling Peaches and Clean today.
Just call 502-5326. Oh yeah, they have an area rug cleaning facility too.
Peaches and Clean is now expanded to the Alexander City Lake Martin Market. Give them a call at 334-502-5326.
Call us up at Peaches and Clean.
TPE Power Equipment is now the trusted name for all your mower and power equipment needs. Whether it's our original Tallahassee location or Opelika location on Fredericks Road, we've got East Alabama covered with the best brands of mowers and power equipment from Husqvarna, Toro, Kawasaki, Echo, and Honda. Right now, get commercial strength Husqvarna zero-turn mowers with our fleet program that offers deep discounts, easy finance, and bonus handheld equipment in one solid package. TPE of Opelika and Tallahassee are the new standard of everything power equipment in East Alabama.
Heads up, we're going back to 77. Disco, bell bottoms, and Ford F-Series starts its epic run as the best-selling trucks in America. Fast forward to 2017, F-Series is still king for 40 straight years. How? Rock-solid durability, up to the nanosecond technology, and jaw-dropping capability. No wonder the competition hasn't been number one since these. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 40 straight years.
Bucks Island is one of the oldest boat dealers in Alabama, serving boaters since 1948 with the largest boat showroom in the state. Bass boats featuring Skeeter, cruisers and sport boats featuring Monterey, pontoons featuring Crest, G3 and Voyagers, powered by Mercury and Yamaha. Bucks Island has sold over 10,000 boats and with a full service and parts and accessories department to keep your boat in top condition. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. Visit Bucks Island on Highway 77 in Southside or online at bucksisland.com. Give them a call at 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island, where our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Reinhardt Lexus brings exciting offers with rates as low as 0%, rebates for college grads and military, and low monthly payments. The time to save is now at Reinhardt Lexus, where you'll feel like family.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Dark Insurance, offering insurance for all your personal needs, including auto, boat, homeowners, and disability. Don't be in the dark. Call Dark Insurance at 256-234-5026.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. We were in the middle of a little fill in the blank, and just for the record,
you were right. You were right again. I'm going to quit challenging you on some of these things. But, yeah, so the Heat did lose to the Mavericks in 2011, and that was...
Does that change your mind at all?
No, not really. I mean, because that Mavericks team wasn't awful. I mean, Dirk Nowitzki was pretty strong. They had Jason Terry. They had Jason Kidd, who, I mean, he was 100 years old then. I mean, he's like 150 now. Yeah, they weren't a bad team. But I am a little shocked they lost 4-2. I just... For whatever reason, I don't remember that. 2011, look, was not my...
It took them a year to get the chemistry right for that Miami team.
Well, okay, so we were talking about super teams. We'll go back to fill in the blank. But you mentioned how LeBron James had a press conference, and he said, I don't believe in super teams. I think we're a super team, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And everybody talks about the big three, and LeBron James didn't start that. You remember, the Lakers had Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Kareem.
Did you hear about? I listened. That's odd that you mentioned that. I listened to an interview by James Worthy. He was drafted the #1 pick.
Yeah.
To the Lakers.
Yeah.
After they won the championship, he said it was something about somebody made a trade in the mid-'70s, and then they had the worst team and the team that had the pick flipped a coin to see who got to make the pick, and the Lakers got it. He said they didn't even need me, but. They just he said people hated it then. But that was just kind of by a weird circumstance.
It was, but I'm saying they did have a big three.
Oh, yeah, they did.
And then Boston had Larry Bird, they had McHale, and then
Doc Johnson, I guess you could say.
Dennis Johnson and Parrish. I mean, look, Parrish always looked like you ever Solomon Grundy from DC Comics. Parrish was a thinner Solomon Grundy. I mean, he always looked like he was Night of the Walking Dead a little bit.
A raggedy suit, that would have been him.
But I mean, there've always been big threes out there. I mean, it's okay. I mean,
but this one was through free agency on purpose.
Well, Chicago had a big three. I mean, they thought they did when they got Tony Kukoc.
Yeah.
Remember, everybody just said he's coming over from Europe and he's Europe's
Greatest
Michael Jordan and all this other stuff. So, I mean, it's not like this is a new concept.
No, it's not. I get that, but I'm just saying, I mean, they made a big deal out of it. He made it, and this all goes back to the decision. Which, that exacerbated everything.
God, I feel like, I feel like with LeBron, we've come to a point in society where you're either so pro LeBron you put blinders on, or you're so anti LeBron because he's not Jordan. And I'm in the middle. I mean, I think that the decision was stupid, and I think it was stupid when they did the not gonna win one, not gonna win two, not gonna win three. I mean, but you make dumb decisions. Let's not forget. The guy didn't go to college.
Yeah.
Now he made more money in his first year than I probably ever will make. So, I mean, I think I'm not saying that was a bad decision. I'm just saying he might not have. He didn't have maybe all the training you don't need. Now, he'd been in the NBA a while when he said it. I'm just saying, look, there's a happy medium in here where you don't have to hate LeBron and you don't have to love it.
Just for the record, I like LeBron James. I think he's a tremendous example. I think he has handled the money and the prestige and been able to still present himself in a good citizen way. I mean, I think he's a stand-up guy, and I like him. But I'm just trying to be honest and say 3-5 is a problem.
Why? But okay, is it a problem? Would you rather be the Buffalo Bills or would you rather be the Detroit Lions?
Well, that's the argument I've made for but of course I'd rather.
It's better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all, right?
Ask Buffalo first. Ask Jim Kelly that question.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'll be willing to bet you that Jim Kelly will say, you know what, man, I hated losing those 4 Super Bowls, but I also happen to remember Frank Reich leading us back from a 31-point deficit or whatever, or 35-point deficit against Houston in the playoffs, and he said that was the most magical thing. That was their kick 6 moment.
Yeah.
And Auburn goes on and loses the national championship. I mean, it was terrible for Auburn fans that they lost it, but would you trade it? I mean, would you say, man, I wish we just lost Alabama and not even gone? I mean,
no, of course not.
So the point is, I would have rather gone to 10 Super Bowls and lost them all than never go to one.
But all I'm saying is, as far as the Jordan versus LeBron, that's a problem for that argument.
Well, why is it all on him?
Not made by me.
Why is it all on him? Why is the 3-5 all on him? The 5 losses
because he wears the moniker of the greatest player in basketball.
Okay, but when we agree that one of those series losses to the Spurs. I mean, he was superhuman to get them there. They had no business being there, right?
Absolutely. Oh, no. That's probably, to be honest, that probably cancels out the
Spurs defeated
the Mavericks loss.
Mavericks loss?
Probably.
But those are both losses. So it hasn't canceled it out.
Because 2 losses make a positive.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
But I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm kind of looking down the line. I'm thinking, if he stays in Cleveland and they continue to go up against this Warriors team, and he ends up down the line 3-10.
Okay,
I mean,
but
what do we?
If he ends up 3-10, I think that's a problem. But at 3-5, I mean, he's been to 8 finals, man. That's a lot of finals, and he's 31, 32, 31.
He's probably
he's got 2 more years of prime.
Sure.
And then he's got 3 more years of being on the Lakers and being with a good team and being the old man in the club. You know what I mean? So he could.
It's going well.
What if they beat the Warriors next year and they're 4-5? I mean,
I think it's a better argument then. I'm just saying that it's right now. It's not looking. He's on the wrong path. He better start winning some of these. That's all I'm saying.
I agree, but I'll also say this for him. I don't know that one player could have done any more than he did. The only caveat I want to put in there is Game 3 when he misses that layup. He gets open, he gets to the rim, and he misses a layup that probably would have put that game away. It opened the door for them to come down, for Kevin Durant to come down and do his thing. So.
He also came. I don't know. It's kind of nitpicking, but
they
had kind of cut it to about 5, and he came down and shot a real errant 3.
That's right. But that missed shot was the kind of thing where I thought to myself, Jordan wouldn't have missed that.
Absolutely, and that's kind of. That's the thing. We got a phone call. You remember LeBron for the misses more than the makes, and that's a problem.
Go ahead, caller. You're on Sportz Blitz.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing great.
Good. Look here, Ed. Come on, man. Just 3-5. That's not bad to me.
Thank you, James.
That's not. Even if he goes 3-10, it's not bad to me because you have to take in consideration basketball is different. That's one guy cannot do it all. He got Kyrie, but if you look at last night's game. They got 7 points from their bench. He played the whole game except for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Kevin Durant now can rest and then Steph goes off. So Kevin Durant don't have to put out all of that energy. And this thing about Jordan, see, to me, I'm a Jordan fan, but to me, Jordan is not the best player ever, in my opinion. Now, if you want to go by titles, then you can say that. But as an athlete and the better athlete, Kobe Bryant to me was better than Jordan because he took what Jordan was and made it better, in my opinion. So I think, a lot of people hate it. Skip Bayless can't stand him. I don't know what his problem is.
Look, Skip Bayless isn't an issue, okay? He's got we have more viewers than Skip Bayless. I feel quite certain about that.
Let me just say this. I agree. Look, all I'm trying to do is talk about the argument of that people like to make about LeBron versus Jordan. I think you're right in that if LeBron even still were to go 3-10, then he's still, to me, the second best player. That's not going to affect that. I think he's great. He is tremendous. I mean, he's unlike anybody really I've ever seen as far as what he can do. I mean, just the last night, every time late in the fourth quarter, he just muscled his way down and made shot a layup. That is phenomenal. But I'm just saying, as far as if you're going to argue that he is the greatest player, then you're going to say he's better than Jordan. He can't be 3-10. He can't be 3-7. He can't be 3-8.
Take the championship. Let's go to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is what, 5 and what? But everybody's now saying he's better than Joe Montana. So why is he better than Joe Montana when in 3 of them Super Bowls they was given to him? He didn't do nothing in the first one. The last 2 fluke plays had to happen for him to be the champion, in a sense. I mean, he played great when that ladder led him back in the game because of coaching. But so why is Tom Brady now is considered better than Joe Montana when Joe Montana went 4-0?
Well, I'll say this about that. And I love Joe Montana and I love Tom Brady, but I think Joe Montana had better weapons. He certainly had a better wide receiver in Jerry Rice. I know Tom Brady had Randy Moss for what, 1 year maybe?
John Taylor was probably better.
John Taylor was strong too.
You believe New England don't have no athlete?
No, I believe they've got athletes. I just don't believe they have a Jerry Rice or a John Taylor.
Wow, but they got Bill Belichick.
Yeah, but at San Francisco had Bill Walsh.
But let me make this point to you. This is how I know who and when you're in a system. Take Bill Belichick. You take Tom Brady, put him on the Detroit line, and the Detroit line ain't gonna be nothing. You take Belichick and you put him with whatever Belichick got. Belichick still go 12-4.
Well, no, hang on a second, James. Belichick was the coach of Cleveland, and he got canned.
Right, but here since he's been at New England, when Tom Brady is hurt and not in the game, what New England does, they still win. But perception is for everybody because you know who my greatest quarterback is, in my opinion?
Throw it at me.
Peyton Manning.
Okay.
But because Peyton was in Denver a few years before he went to the Super Bowl, and he up, and his defensive back give a Hail Mary to one of them receivers, and they don't get to the Super Bowl, then people blame Peyton Manning. Sometimes you can't blame the star because you lose.
No, I'm with you on that, James. We got to run to a break, but I certainly do appreciate the phone call, bro.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think he's dead on. You can't always, it's not always the star's fault, and it's not always because of the star that you win. It's just that's the way it is in sports. The quarterback, no matter who they are, they get all the credit and they get all the blame. And in basketball, if you're the superstar, you're going to get all the credit or all the blame. That's how it works.
Absolutely. Up against the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with zero down. longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for zero-down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
Saturday, July 22nd, Sun Festival, Alexander City welcomes the biggest live act to hit Strand Park to date, Moon Taxi. At Strand Park in historic downtown Alexander City, Saturday, July 22nd. Doors open at 6 p.m. Tickets are only $20 and on sale now at the Alexander City Chamber of Commerce or at alexandercitychamber.com. Presented by the City of Alexander City.
Advantage is defined as a favorable or desirable circumstance or feature, a benefit, and that's just what you'll get with the Gills Auto Sales 5-Star Advantage. Gills Worry-Free Guarantee, a 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty on every vehicle. Specialized maintenance from the area's top technicians and free oil changes with each purchase. Flexible financing to fit any budget or credit situation. Convenience with 6 locations offering quick and easy approvals. And selection, the area's volume leader with over 400 vehicles in stock. There's only one place to get the 5-Star Advantage, and that's only at Gills.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Oh, no.
That's not it. Hold on a second. At least probably 2 of the Spurs. Lakers. Hello and welcome back to Sportz Blitz Live.
Why does he do that? Every time we get a sponsor, and I was going to look up one thing, and he brings it straight back.
Welcome back to Sportz Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Luke Robinson. We have had some interesting discussions and fascinating.
First of all, love James.
Absolutely.
James, call more, put us on speed dial. I love when James calls anywhere, because let me tell you, I don't agree with him all the time. He's passion.
Yeah. And I agree. I agree with a lot of what he says. And let me just be very clear. I am not anti-LeBron at all. And we just had a rousing discussion about Magic Johnson. There's a lot of people who think he is the best player that's ever played the NBA.
I mean, but honestly, I don't know that I'd put him in my top 5.
Well, he's the greatest leader of a team I think I've ever seen, because he was able to take egos. He knew when to give it to Kareem. He knew when to shoot it. He knew when to give it to Ori. He knew when to kick it out. I mean, nobody was better on the break than he was.
He was great. I mean, look, and it's okay. People take it so insultingly. For instance, going back to the CamPetwayAL.com, a lot of people were upset he wasn't on the first team. Well, who are you going to take off? I mean, you're not going to take off Darius Geis.
Well, I mean, you could take off Chubb. I mean,
okay, and I get that, but Chubb, people don't realize this. Chubb had over 1,100 yards last year, and before he was hurt, he was as good a running back as there was. And that was a year with Derrick Henry.
But there's 2 big words there, or before hurt.
Okay, well, Cam Petway got hurt last year.
Well, different injury.
But same thing. Let me say this. Who do you think gets drafted first?
Blowing out a knee where it looks like it breaks.
It was nasty. I mean,
not the same thing as pulling a hamstring.
But a hamstring can linger. It can stay with you for a long time. So my point being that I don't think it's crazy to say I think Nick Chubb will be first team All-SEC. I don't think that's crazy. I think Nick Chubb, before he got hurt, he was probably ahead of Derrick Henry in some regards. Now, it was before Alabama also played Georgia, and then Alabama held him in check till he broke loose for an 80-yarder late in the game that didn't matter.
And most people feel that way because we played against Auburn.
Yeah.
Running all through Auburn, over Auburn, and around Auburn, it didn't really matter. But anyway, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. Are we going to try to fill in the blank?
Let's go. Let's finish filling the blank.
That's okay. Aaron Judge's 496-foot home run in Yankee Stadium was blank. Did you see this?
I saw it, and my fill in the blank word is far. I mean, what am I supposed to say to it?
Well, you can. It's a phrase. You know, you don't have to do a single word.
I mean,
you can fill it in with anything you want to fill it in. Ruthian?
I mean, I guess if you want to say it, but first of all, I don't know how accurate he hit it 496 yards. I mean, maybe they are accurate. I don't know.
If he hit it 496 yards, he's hitting it to the moon, man.
Okay, I mean, great. Aaron Judge I'm glad he's with the Yankees because, again, I think baseball's better when the Yankees are good, and I don't like baseball very much, so I'm going to follow it if the Yankees are good just because I don't care, but I know everybody else is passionate about it, and they'll either hate or love the Yankees, and I think that's cool.
Rafael Nadal's 10th French Open championship was blank.
All right, I wrote dynastic down, and I'm not 100% sure that's a word, but it's the second time I've used it in this show, and I think it's true.
I've heard that on ESPN.
Huh?
I've heard that on ESPN.
Okay, well then, okay. So, Rafi is just great on clay. I'm not going to pretend like I'm some tennis aficionado, but I know every year when the French Open rolls around, Nadal's going to be in the finals unless he's hurt. That's it. Absolutely. He's just going to be there. And winning 10 is a big deal. It's awesome.
His mutter was a mutter. Hawaii offering a scholarship to a 5th grade QB is blank.
Sadly becoming the norm. I think Lane Kiffin also offered a 6th grader not too long ago. And I mean, Hawaii's just trumping that. Now, there is a caveat in the sense that I think this kid had some tie-in family-wise to the school and blah, blah, blah. But it's just the way it is, and everybody says, well, the NCAA's got to do something about it. What are you going to do about it? I mean, what are you going to do? How are you going to stop this? Because if the kid, if you're going to say we're going to put coaches in jail, in terms of NCAA jail, if they do this, what if a kid just wants to get a coach in trouble? What if an Alabama fan wants to get an Auburn coach in trouble? Says he offered me a scholarship.
Wouldn't it be just easy to say you can't offer them unless they're in high school?
You can say that, but really, it's just a verbal thing anyway. It's not like you hand them a piece of paper and say, I'm offering you this scholarship. You're not binding anything. You're just saying.
But, I mean, it would just, I mean, it'd be stupid to even, I mean.
Well, when do you start it? I mean, and if you start it I think it's kind of silly to do it any time before your junior year. But if you see a 10th grader, look, if you saw Bo Jackson as a 10th grader, you'd probably say, I'm offering that guy a scholarship, and I want to do it quickly. Because if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it.
Yeah. They remember the first offer.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, that's going to wrap up fill in the blank. I don't know if we probably are behind a couple of breaks, but well, let's go ahead and take a break. And we'll come back. We'll try to get back on schedule. More of Sportz Blitz Live right after this.
Nissan, it's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017s. Get up to $7,000 off MSRP on the new Altima SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 and exit 51.
At U.S. Ameribank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. Ameribank provides something found nowhere else: Craft Banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. Ameribank difference. U.S. Ameribank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Jewelry by Design is Auburn's premier jeweler for over 20 years. Mark and Tammy Nelson invite you to see their unique selection of engagement rings, each crafted to be a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, custom designed with only natural premium diamonds that are never enhanced. Jewelry by Design is also your officially licensed Auburn University jeweler that handcrafts all of their Auburn jewelry, as unique as your passion for the Auburn Tigers. For jewelry that's crafted to your style, visit Jewelry by Design on Dean Road in Auburn or online at jewelrybydesignauburn.com.
If you had $6,000, how would you spend it?
I'd pay bills.
How about a new car? Vacation!
At Hyundai of Auburn today, you can get the new car and do the other things.
What? How?
Pick out your dream car and drive away with as much as $6,000 to spend however you'd like.
America's best warranty and $6,000?
Luxury and $6,000.
Be thinking how to spend your $6,000. HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Vacation!
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17th season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tubes with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin. This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alex City. Satterfield is the Lake Martin area's Big Green Egg and Accessories headquarters.
Welcome back, everyone, to a spirited Sportz Blitz Live this Tuesday evening. Andy and Luke here with you. A preview of my column tomorrow I thought would be a good idea, and you mentioned this the other night. We were talking about coaches in the SEC, and you just kind of offhand said, you know, obviously Nick Saban is the best coach in the SEC, but who would you put at second? And then I got to thinking about that this week. That's a good idea. Let's rank the SEC coaches 1 through 14, and it's not as easy as you might think.
Well, and let me take it a step further. I actually wrote today, I didn't have enough meat on any of the bones of any of these 4 topics I was talking about to let it carry a full article, but I thought about the SEC this year, and I've made no bones about it, that I think the league will be better this year because the quarterback play is going to be better. I think Auburn's going to be improved at quarterback. Alabama's still strong at quarterback to bring back the SEC Player of the Year. Jake Bentley at South Carolina, I like him a lot. Mississippi State and Nick Fitzgerald, Shea Patterson at Ole Miss, I think they're all good. I think Florida, if Malik Zaire comes in, he can certainly do some nice things there. Austin Allen at Arkansas, I think he's a good quarterback. I just think the league overall is going to be stronger. Locke at Missouri. But I think the SEC is about to have a problem financially in this sense, that because of this ranking, we've determined that it's Nick Saban and then a big gap. And my goodness, where do you rank everybody? I mean, you could make the argument that the guy you have number 2 could be my guy that's number 14, and you could be okay with it. So what's going to happen is this year a lot of teams are going to be better because the quarterback play is going to be better, and then a lot of coaches, your Malzahn's, maybe even your Bielemas, maybe your Kirby Smarts, they're going to get big buyouts and raises, et cetera, and then the next year when maybe some of this quarterback play cycles back into a downturn, a lot of these guys are going to get fired, but they're going to get huge buyouts, or they're going to have huge buyouts, and the school's going to be forced into a situation where they have to make a tough decision. So that's what's about to happen. I believe that because I think this crop of coaches outside of Nick Saban may be the worst in the Power 5.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Well, think about it. I mean, I think that Big Ten certainly has better coaches. I really like some of the coaches in the Big 12, even with Bob Stoops leaving. I mean, I think Mike Gundy's a really good coach, what he's done at Oklahoma State. I said they could make the playoffs
5-year
this year.
extension today for Mike Gundy.
And he's got a fantastic mullet.
He does.
So and
I don't know what that thing is, but it is sweet. I'll say.
It is. You know, at this point now, if you rock a mullet, you either do it very, very poorly or you do it with style, and he's got style with it.
This is true. Let's get to the rankings because everybody loves a good ranking. Everybody loves a bad ranking. I will let you go first.
Okay.
You want to go top to bottom, or you want to go top, bottom, go?
Well, okay. Nick Saban's won. You didn't even give me a chance to finish.
Yeah, I put it in.
All right, let's go. Let's go 14. Let's go backwards.
Okay.
The worst coach in the league to me, Butch Jones.
Wow. Okay.
Butch Jones, and let me tell you why. Because number one, he's done nothing.
How are you? Let's talk about the criteria first, because I'm basing this on basically what they've done. You know, how they've coached, you know, the results that they've had, what they've had to work with, all those kind of things.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm factoring in the facilities and the resources they have along with the performance. And I'm looking at Butch Jones and I'm thinking, you know, if not for an unbelievable comeback against Florida last year and a Hail Mary against Georgia, last year he'd be fired. There's no question he'd be fired. He has been non-competitive against Alabama. Total non-factor. He hadn't won the East at a time when the East has been totally up for grabs. He's had guys like Alvin Kamara, Jalen Hurd, the Josh Dobbs. He's had just a litany of wide receivers who are Frisbee-catching dogs, and he can't make it happen. He's had Derek Barnett. He went in the first round this year. I mean, he just can't get it together. And not only that, he's been accused of hitting players and being kind of violent towards them and doing some really goofy stuff. He did the one thing where at one practice they started playing the Alabama fight song or something, and he set it all up to try and make them mad. And really all the players just looking around going, what is going on? He's goofy. He needs to be a MAC coach, not a SEC coach. That funky stuff may work in the MAC where you can get somebody fired up for the school pride side of it. But if the players in the SEC don't have your respect on your own team, they're not going to respect any of your goofy antics.
No. I got Barry Odom simply because he has 1 year of experience and he went 4-8. And, you know, I just don't know anything about him right now other than the fact that they went 4-8. So that's why I put him last.
Okay, I've got him at 13, and it's kind of unfair. He's walked into a bear trap at Missouri.
Yes.
I mean, social unrest.
But I can't project that he's. I just got to play it for what it is.
I agree, and so let me tell you what. If I'm starting a team, and you said you can have Butch Jones or you can have Barry Odom, I'm taking Barry Odom and taking my chances.
Wow.
I've seen what Butch Jones can do with plenty of resources.
I'm gonna have some explaining to do, and I'm gonna have some backing up to do.
Oh no, Andy. But that just bolsters my argument.
So you said Barry Odom at 13. I have Ed Orgeron at 13.
Okay, I've got him at 12.
Because he was horrendous at Ole Miss.
True.
But I mean, he's done some fair jobs in interim, but I'm on record as saying I think he runs LSU into the ground.
I think it's going to be harder to run LSU into the ground. They just recruit so well. Another level recruiting. They have so much talent that it's, you know, in the end, you still got Darius Geis. You still got Leonard Fournette's going there. You've still got, safeties and linebackers that they just grow them down in Louisiana, and they want to be there. But I put Orgeron at 12 because I, like you, don't think he's ever going to be super competitive in the SEC. But I think that he can sort of hold things together, and he can recruit. So I've got to take that into factor too. And that's the other thing about Butch Jones. Look, he got Trey Smith last year, who was ESPN's best player in the country, an offensive lineman. Yeah, but Trey Smith's sister, I think, worked for Butch Jones in their office somewhere. So, I mean, it wasn't like that he just did a miraculous. And Trey Smith's from Tennessee. So it's not like he's gone out and just handpicked these 5 stars. Anyway.
But he's done a better job of recruiting than the last bozos that they've had.
I mean, I guess, but is his high water mark Derek Dooley?
Well, I mean, you got to consider what he inherited.
Okay, but what year is he on? Is he year 4? Year 5?
This will be
year 5.
Year 5.
Okay.
He's gotten them though. I mean, Tennessee. Well, I'll get there. We'll have that conversation.
I know. Look, you're already setting me up for you got this joker at number 2.
I don't.
Okay.
All right. You said who at 12?
Or
That was
12.
wrong. I had Brett Bielema at 12.
Okay.
He won 3 Big Ten titles. He was really good at Wisconsin. They have been squadouche at Arkansas. I mean, they look like a hog chasing its tail most of the time. For a team that supposedly is the one team in the SEC that has absolutely, they know who they are. They don't know who they are. I mean, they try to be one thing, and then they change in the middle of the year. It's just been chaos. He's all bluster and no substance. It's all hot air right now. Perhaps he can get something going in the future, but right now, to me, he's just he's kind of a waste of space.
True, but in terms of resources, while Arkansas has plenty of money, I think in terms of recruiting, that may be the hardest place to recruit in the league, because even more so than, say, Mississippi State, because at least in Starkville, there's plenty of talent around Mississippi and Alabama. They can get the guys that Alabama and Auburn don't take from the state of Alabama and put together a pretty doggone good class. But at Arkansas, it's just, how do you get there? I mean, that's one of the few places I haven't been in the league. I mean, I love going on road trips, and every time it comes around where Alabama's going to Arkansas, I'm like, man,
Bobby
that just
Petrino
seems
had
like
him
a
winning
long
19
way.
games a year.
Yeah, well, he was doing some other things too.
Well, I mean, that didn't have anything to do with the football.
Well, I'm just telling you. Okay.
All right, who'd you have at 11?
I had 11. I had Derek Mason with Vandy. I think he's okay, but I think by proxy, unless your name is James Franklin, you are going to be no higher than 11 if you're coaching Vanderbilt, because you're not going to be there long enough to prove me otherwise.
I have Kirby Smart because they lost to Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Because I have no sample size. 1 year, he went 8-5 and didn't really look good doing it.
Okay.
And so he's got room to improve, but for right now, I cannot put him higher than 11.
And my other criteria for this is who would I want coaching my team too. I put that in as a factor. So number 10, I have Will Muschamp.
I have Will Muschamp at number 10.
And I'm not proud of it. I think this is also telling about where I think the league is. I wasn't high on Will Muschamp at Florida, but I think at South Carolina he can be a little better. He is recruiting well, and he did get Jake Bentley, and I don't care if he had to hire his dad to get him. It was very, very smart. Jake Bentley's awesome.
I think South Carolina's a great opportunity for him. I think it's a good fit for him. And I'm going to quote the great Randy Lee. It is hard to run Florida into the ground, and he did.
Yeah,
so
did
he's not good.
I agree. And he's got some anger management issues. We all agree on that.
Coach Boone.
Number 9, I have Kevin Sumlin.
I have Mark Stoops.
I have Stoops much higher than you, but Kevin Sumlin, I mean, you talk about resources. You're the only SEC school in Texas. You literally have picked some of the greatest players from the country. You just had the number 1 draft pick, and you can't beat Auburn at home. You only beat Alabama one time in a magical performance by one of the most dynamic players that's ever been in this conference, maybe in the country. And really, you've been sort of a non-factor in the SEC West. You can't beat LSU. Haven't beat LSU. Can't do it.
Mark Stoops is, he's 19 and 30. It's really difficult to, recruit and to coach at Kentucky. I get that. But Rich Brooks, after he went through there and had about 4 or 5 straight 8-win seasons, I kind of hold them to a little bit of higher standards. I think he's doing better. He's got an opportunity. I think he's one that could move up a little bit because I think he's actually doing a pretty good job at Kentucky. But just that 19 and 30 is hard to get around.
Let me tell you why I put Kevin Sumlin here, and I go back to one of my factors of what I want you coaching my team. So I'm calling it Alabama. I wouldn't want Kevin Sumlin to come coach at Alabama because I feel very strongly he would do a Bill Curry against Auburn and may do a Bill Curry, well, not a Bill Curry, but a Mike Shula against Tennessee. Just beat them once every 3 or 4 years and never beat Auburn because he's missing a toughness factor. His team, personality-wise, seems to be missing a toughness factor. They've got all the talent in the world. Myles Garrett is unbelievable. If you can turn the light on, when he turns that light on, he's as good as there is.
I agree.
So number 8, I put Hugh Freeze, and the reason I should have him higher, but you got to deduct points because number 1, he's playing so stupid now with this NCAA thing. And Mississippi is blindly defending him so stupidly.
It's getting uglier, too.
Like, I don't feel like he's going to – we're talking about his coaching regime lasting months instead of years now. I don't think there's any question he's going to have to be a sacrificial lamb or not even just be a lamb. I mean, he's going to be something where he's going to have to be cut ties with Mississippi, and I got to deduct points for that.
Yeah, did you read my column?
Okay.
That has not been out yet because I said – I have Hugh Freeze at number 8, and I had to deduct points because of the mess that Ole Miss is in.
Oh, wow.
But, so I agree wholeheartedly. I think he probably, coaching-wise, is a little higher than this. But, you know, it's about – they're civil suits now being levied in Oxford against players at Mississippi State. I mean, it's going to get really nasty and really ugly. I tell you what, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back, and we'll do our top 7 SEC coaches ranking. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At U.S. Ameribank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. Ameribank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. Ameribank difference. U.S. Ameribank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Centricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
Jackson Refrigeration is Central East Alabama's Alabama Power's superior solutions dealer. With rapid response time and on-budget pricing, we're Central East Alabama's and the area's authorized Goodman Heating and Air dealer. We make your peace of mind easy and give you peace of mind when it comes to your heating and air needs. As a superior solutions dealer, Jackson Refrigeration can help save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Jackson Refrigeration works on all existing brands and units and has the team to solve your heating and cooling needs, no matter the season.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a four-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you. Central to your success.
Ask what makes it the best 3 Series ever, and we'll tell you it has more advanced suspension and steering, or even more control of the road. And it's near perfectly balanced to put performance first. But ask her for where the competition mimics us just to keep up? No comment. The BMW 3 Series.
Visit BMW of Columbus on Whittlesey Boulevard or shop bmwofcolumbus.com.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Alex City Marine, the Lake Martin area's premier new and used boat and motor dealership. Find out more at alexcitymarine.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. We are ranking the coaches in the SEC. We have gone through 14 to number 8. A lot of the same coaches, I think, not surprisingly, in that group for us. A couple of different ones. I had Brett Bielema. You had Butch Jones in this group. I had Kirby Smart. You did not. So, but we both had Hugh Freeze at 8. We both had Will Muschamp at 10, and we both had Ed Orgeron in that 13 spot, I think.
Well, at 7, I've got Brett Bielema. And again, you may be more right than I am. I think it's actually an average
You
of
could
the two
argue
of
it
us
either way.
Because I'm still, when Arkansas hired him, I thought it was a perfect hire.
I did too.
Great hire. I thought it really was a great hire. And it hadn't worked out. But again, if Brett Bielema came to Alabama, I'd be okay with it, because I think with Alabama's resources and being able to recruit in this state versus recruiting Arkansas, I think he would do better. Now, he's still got to win, and he hadn't won a lot. He can't beat Texas A&M,
No.
who I just dog cussed.
Yeah.
So I think that's a problem. You can't lose to Auburn 56-7 or whatever it is. It feels like Brett Bielema
I think
has
that
put
was a
a
donut.
lot of – huh?
I think that was a donut for them.
Was it? No, it was 56-3 at least.
Maybe they kicked the field goal.
I think they did kick a field goal because Auburn fans were unhappy about it. Like
Maybe.
they kicked it when it was 28 to whatever.
Maybe.
But anyway, I think he has put a lot of his eggs in the I want to be competitive with Alabama basket, and I think he should be working on A&M and Auburn first, because he's beaten LSU though. He's had a problem with A&M, obviously. He just can't get over that hump. And then while he did beat Auburn 2 years ago, a lot of times he's been kind of non-competitive against them. And you would think that Arkansas fans, while everybody's chasing Alabama right now, you would think they'd want to beat Auburn as much as anybody simply because of the Gus Malzahn Arkansas thing.
Right. I would agree. I have Derek Mason at number 7. He has a terrible record, but he coaches at Vandy. And anybody that gets Vandy to a bowl game is a good coach, in my opinion.
At the same time, it's not like Vandy plays the world's toughest non-conference schedule, and they are playing in the SEC East.
Well, regardless.
Let's see what they do
winning
this year.
Well, going to a bowl at Vandy, especially and plus the way he started, because they looked like his first year. They looked like one of the worst teams. They didn't even look like they knew plays. I mean, it was that bad, and they've gotten so much better. And it just seems like I give him credit for that, because I think he fired Carl Durrell really quick because he figured these guys didn't know what he's doing. They know what he's doing. So I give him some credit for that. And like I say, getting to a bowl game at Vandy, to me, that's okay in my book. Even though
that's why I had him at 11 and not 14. But number 6, I had Kirby Smart. And again, I go back to
this is all potential.
A lot of it's got to be potential. I mean, they did lose to Vandy, and they beat Auburn last year, but they didn't look good doing it. And it was as much an Auburn problem as it was a Georgia beating Auburn. It was as much Auburn's defeating themselves as anything.
Yeah.
So. And they lost to Georgia Tech, right? At the end, didn't they lose?
I think they did.
So I feel like Kirby Smart, though, is recruiting next level. That being said, Georgia has always kind of recruited next level. They're Georgia. They're going to have plenty. And the fact, though, I'm not going to deduct a lot for Georgia's not winning right now. I mean, he's only had one year sample size, first of all. But nobody's won a national championship at Georgia since 1980. So, I mean, it's not like you can say, well, he hadn't won championships. I mean, just a lot of people hadn't won championships there. They are the potential university.
I agree. I have Butch Jones at number 6.
Now,
hear me out. Tennessee was dwelling in the wilderness. I don't think they went for about 4 or 5 years. They didn't even go to a bowl game. I mean,
where are they now?
Well, again, they've won 9 games back-to-back years. They've gotten better every year he's been there. They're getting more and more competitive with Florida. They hadn't closed the gap on Alabama, but again, not many people have closed the gap on Alabama. So I think that he is coming in. He came into a very bad situation at Tennessee, and it's taken him 4 years to kind of get the program on solid footing. But again, back-to-back 9-win seasons, I think is enough to tell me that he knows what he's doing. Now, he may never win a national title at Tennessee, but I just think turning that program around in the fashion that he did, they're not all the way around, I grant you, but they look like a better team now than they were when he got there.
I think it's just a bad fit. He's just kind of goofy.
He is a little goofy.
And this year, you're talking about the 9. I don't think they get close to 9 wins this year. Alabama, they go to Tuscaloosa, and I think they welcome LSU. And I think those are 2 losses for them right there. They do have Georgia coming in, but I like Georgia's chances going to Tennessee, and they do go to Florida, and I like Florida winning that game. So, I mean, I'm rattling off 4 losses right there, and I just don't see this team having a lot of luck. And I feel like they're going to be in some trouble. And then, you look at some other things. He kind of blew the Oklahoma game. I mean, yeah, they were in it, and that Oklahoma team was that last – that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And that Oklahoma team did go to the playoffs and whatever. But they blew it. And so all the chances he's had to do the big thing, they haven't done it. I mean, they came back and beat Florida last year, and Florida did win the SEC East, but that was by default. They did throw a Hail Mary and beat a Georgia team that wasn't very good, that also lost to Vandy. And he lost to Vandy last year. So I just, again, I like Stoops at number 5. And, again, I'm judging that more on he doesn't have a lot to work with, but he's recruiting very well. He's got a guy this year committed to him. Now, that's not going to help him. But he's committed for this next signing class as a quarterback that a lot of people are really high on. I think he went to the Elite 11, looked very strong. Alabama was in on him. And he decommitted for a second. A lot of people thought he would commit to Alabama. And then he re-upped with Kentucky. And I was thinking, good for them. I'm glad. I mean, this is Kentucky's time to try and do something in football. So I'm glad to see it.
Well, I got Kevin Sumlin at number 5. And that, that's probably.
You feel bad about that.
Well, I'm rethinking it now. But look, I mean, he's 44-21 at Texas A&M. He's an 8-win coach right now with, a good. Well, he's kind of gone downhill ever since. But he does get less out of more, it seems, than probably a lot of teams. But I go back and I think about what he did at Houston. And I think he knows what he's doing, but he's I don't know, this whole business with recruiting and telling players what they want to hear, I guess, and now they're bolting on him.
Here's the other thing we're about to find out. He essentially chose Kellen Mond over Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
Jarrett Stidham, I think everybody knows, was going to go to Texas A&M if Kevin Sumlin had put all his eggs in that basket, but he chose Kellen Mond because I think one of them was going to go to Auburn, one of them was going to go to Texas A&M. That's how it worked out. And so Kevin Sumlin had the draft pick, so it may be one of those Greg Oden over Kevin Durant moments.
Yeah, he's a good recruiter too. I mean, he seems to be able to. I mean, Christian Kirk. I mean, they've got talent.
Dynamic.
They've got talent, and just a matter of can they put it all together.
Number 4, I've got Gus.
Okay.
What do you got?
I've got Jim McElwain.
Okay.
2 years in the league. I think I still need more, but I mean it's hard to argue with 2 East Division titles. But I have him there because I think, the potential there. He's shown more than obviously Will Muschamp did. But Florida still ends up doing things every year, and you just go.
Like losing to Tennessee last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, and by the end of the year, they're a lot like Auburn. I mean, their quarterback gets hurt and they just fall apart.
Well,
so
they never. Last time they didn't have a quarterback to start with.
Well, that's true.
And they've been pretty non-competitive in the SEC title games. They've lost to Florida State both times in ugly fashion. So yeah, I mean, and they got absolutely drilled by Michigan 2 years ago. I see your point, but I have Gus Malzahn here, and really, again, if I could put a lot of these guys ahead of Gus Malzahn. Yes, he went to a championship game, but that's beginning. That's beginning to feel like a faint memory. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And people
more
also,
so than you. Yes.
People also forget that it was miraculous that they get there. The Georgia game was miraculous, and then the Alabama game. So really, back to back with some, I think nobody sandwiched in between them. It's crazy. And Gus was getting a lot of credit as a magician. Well, now he's making that season seem like it's disappearing. So I feel like he's got to do something this year because you look at this coaching ranks, And if he wants to prove himself as the second best or third best or fourth best coach in this league, he needs to make something happen in the SEC West this season.
Who you have at number 3?
Dan Mullen. And Dan Mullen, I think, has done about as much with Mississippi State as you can possibly do. No, he hadn't taken them to the SEC West championship. He hadn't gone to Atlanta to play for the title. But he did take Mississippi State to a number 1 ranking. They were in the first grouping ever to be ranked by the college football playoff. And nobody.
That's a trivia question.
Yeah, nobody can ever take that away from Mississippi State. I mean, you talk about something crazy. Who would have ever thought you'd see that in our lifetimes? And he's also going to get a lot of credit for having coached up Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is
and Tim Tebow.
And Tim Tebow, true. I mean, he coached 2 of the better quarterbacks that have come through this league in the last 10, 12 years. So I feel like he needs to get a lot of credit. So I've got Mellon there.
I have Gus Malzahn at number 3. There's nothing separating him really from Jim McElwain, Kevin Sumlin, Butch Jones, Hugh Freeze, other than he's got an SEC title. And to me, I don't care how you win it, you got an SEC title, and that offense was unbelievable. And he's got a national championship game appearance. I think that puts him ahead of McElwain in that bunch.
Well, and see, I put McElwain at 2, and the reason is he's only had 2 years and he's won the SEC East twice. I mean, and I know the SEC East has been, it may be the Weast, it's certainly the least, and it's been weak, but he did win it. He won it both times. Nobody else won it, and he was non-competitive against Alabama again this year, but hey, a lot of people have been non-competitive against Alabama. So I think Jim McElwain so far has done pretty well. He also came into the state of Alabama and stole a kid named LaMichael Pirine, who everybody's talking about. This guy, Bo Scarborough not on the running back list, or this other guy not on there. How about LaMichael Pirine? He's a pretty strong player.
I have Dan Mullen at number 2.
I can buy that.
The second best coach in this. I never thought I would say that. But you look at his body of work, 61-42 at Mississippi State. He's been to 7 straight bowl games, and he's 5-2 in those bowl games. He has made Mississippi State consistently competitive, which is something that nobody before him was able to do, unless they were cheating, like Jackie Sherrill. So I just think he's, judging by, he does more with less than any other coach in the SEC. I really believe that right now.
Even said that, they lost to South Alabama. So, and people may say, well,
and they were number 1 in the country. So
But Nick, and people say, well, Nick Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe. He did in his first year when he was trying to transition. Dan Mullen is firmly established as Mississippi State's coach, and they lose to South Alabama.
And they almost lost to UAB, didn't they? I mean,
they
UAB struggled.
UAB.
I mean, so they again. I mean, I think that's just being coaching state. Those games are going to happen. I mean, like you say, I mean, you're having to take the leftovers.
Yep.
And I just think, and like I say, he's doing more. I gotta say this though. Obviously, Nick Saban's number 1. He's 114-19 in Alabama.
That's disgusting.
That is obscene. I mean, he's won 7 SEC titles and 5 national titles. And he's 11-9 in bowl games / playoff games.
That is weird.
I mean,
I'll tell you, it is sort of. If he's not playing for the whole bananas, I mean, it looks like they're not as good. And the teams that they've lost to, that's the thing of those. Since 2008, the teams that Alabama's lost to were quarterbacked by the likes of Johnny Manziel, Cam Newton, Tim Tebow, Cardell Jones when he was Nick Marshall. I mean, some really unbelievable quarterback play. And even against South Carolina, his name is escaping me right now. Help me out. When South Carolina beat Alabama in 2010.
I know, but I'm lost.
He writes for Saturday Down South.
I know.
Whatever. He was on his game.
Yeah, he was.
Stephen Garcia.
Best game he ever played in his life.
Bar none.
Nah.
So it's the losses are totally explainable. Alabama has lost some double-digit games, like against Oklahoma, but they returned a fumble late and yada yada yada. They just don't have the moment. They don't have the Brett Bielema losing to Auburn 56-3 moments.
That's true. Oh, no, they don't. 114.
Because if they ever did have that, his hat would explode.
114-19. That's
ridiculous.
That's wild. Butch Jones is the one you have a problem with. With me, Brett Bielema is the one I have a problem with you, basically.
Yeah, but I will concede that Brett Bielema tugs at my heartstrings in the sense that I thought he was going to be a good hire, so it's hard for me to let that go.
Plus, he's gained 150 pounds since he went to Arkansas.
Is that true?
No, but I mean, it looks like. Have you seen a picture of him at Wisconsin?
He lose that by flossing his teeth.
Have you?
But
have you seen a picture of him at Wisconsin?
But okay, let me just put this to you another way, and be honest here.
That's a cheap shot by me, but I mean,
be honest here.
I'm always
somebody
honest.
says at Auburn, okay, Gus Malzahn's leaving, and the only two choices you have is like Sylvester Croom and Mike Shula. The only two choices you have are Butch Jones and Brett Bielema. Go.
I'll take the job. Oh my goodness!
Coach, you'll let Jarrett Stidham coach him Bill Russell style or something.
Absolutely. I can stand on the sideline and chew gum.
No, but I'm saying I'll take Brett Bielema.
I think I might take Butch. I think he's a little bit more innovative, if nothing else.
He's a little more innovative. Yeah, he finds a lot of ways to lose.
He's got a better record than he does in Arkansas.
But he's also got the Tennessee. He's got more. Tennessee's a better job.
Tennessee ain't what she used to be.
But is Tennessee a better job?
That old orange mare ain't what she used to be.
Is Tennessee a better job than Arkansas?
Certainly.
Okay.
Yeah. It used to be anyway. Up against the break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sportz Blitz Live right after these messages.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come tour our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
If you currently have an FHA mortgage, this commercial is for you. Most people that currently have an FHA mortgage are working with Home Place Mortgage to refinance their current loan. Several items have changed to make now the perfect time to refinance. FHA has reduced the amount of monthly mortgage insurance. Current interest rates for FHA loans are at all-time lows. FHA has eliminated the need for new appraisal. Most people will be able to refinance with little or no closing costs. This is the opportunity that you have been waiting for. Call now to start saving.
It's Truck Month.
It's Ram Truck Month at Bice Motors in Alex City. Save over $10,000 off MSRP on select Ram 1500 or 2500.
Trucks, and more trucks.
Nice price, lowest price.
Great looking trucks and great looking discounts.
Buy it at Bice.
Lake Martin's Ram Truck Headquarters.
America's longest lasting trucks.
BiceChryslerDodge.com.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, offering a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, electrical, and plumbing supplies. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rate products, and competitive do-it-best pricing.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you for about 25 more minutes in tonight's show. We appreciate so much all of you out there joining us this evening. Time for a little more or less. More or less. More difficult to guard, LeBron James or Kevin Durant?
I'm still going to go with LeBron James because it's close. And I mean,
it's a hair's width.
Yeah. I mean, I could go with Kevin Durant here, but I'm still going to take James because he took every time they had a switch and he wanted to get inside, he did. I mean,
yeah, that fourth quarter was just, I mean, that was playground.
Yeah.
But still, to me, I'm going to say Kevin Durant because he's such a better shooter from three.
Yeah.
And did you see him glide to the lane?
I know.
He took about 2 steps from the three-point line and just.
If I showed you 3 LeBron James highlights, you'd probably agree with me. And if you showed me 3 Kevin Durant highlights, I'd probably go, you're right.
Absolutely. I think we got a phone call.
Let's go ahead. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
This is Brian.
Hello, Brian. What's going on, buddy?
I went fishing today for 5 hours and caught 28 brim.
28?
You got good tennis elbow.
I have caught 329 brim for the year.
What are you fishing with?
Have you met your quota?
Fishing braided magic bait.
Magic bait. Look out.
Bluegill bait.
Bluegill bait.
Yep.
All right, Brian, what else you got for us?
I'm ready for some Alabama football.
Okay, well, just sit tight. You only got about 2.5 more months.
I think they're going to go win a national championship this year again.
Way to go out on a limb. All right, Brian, thank you, buddy. Roll Tide, buddy.
National championship. Well, I mean, alternate. Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'll
take
take
a year
it.
off last year.
Take it. I'll give me the next one.
Less likely to be a Cav in 2018. Kyrie Irving or Kevin Love?
I'm going to say Kevin Love. I mean, the way the game has changed, and if they want to compete with the Warriors, they're going to need to get a little faster. And Kevin Love, I thought, just didn't look good. It still feels like a mismatch, and it feels like he doesn't really want to be there, and LeBron doesn't really trust him. Every now and again, they do get it gelling, and it looks good. But there was a time last night when Cleveland, I think Golden State was on a bit of a roll, and Kevin Love turned to do a little fadeaway, and Iguodala stole it from him so easily, and I thought that's going to hurt his confidence. I mean, that's because he sort of helped get this roll started, and they never looked back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people are making, and I can see it. You could convince me that it was a lot closer than a 4-1. I mean, because obviously Game 3 could have gone either way. Game 4 could have gone either way. If a moment here or there, Game 4 could not have gone either way. Game 3 could have gone either way. Game 5 could have gone either way. If just a couple of things, a steal here, a made basket there. I mean, you could convince me that it could have been a 2-2 or a 3-2 going back to Cleveland, but Cleveland's got to make some kind of changes. I mean, I think to me, you've got to get rid of J.R. Smith. I mean, get somebody like an Andre Iguodala that you can count on,
right,
to come off the bench and be a good shooter or whatever. I mean, but they got to make some changes. They might. I mean, I think everybody's on the block, but what if they just bring back the same team?
I mean, that team did go to the finals. I mean, it's not like they have to make wholesale
games in the regular season. But I mean, they did blow through the playoffs.
I think if they get one other piece, I mean, if they got rid of Love and brought in somebody about of his caliber, which I don't think is all that crazy to think they would do, I think they can be right back in it.
More lucrative wager: a Warriors Cavs 4 or Bob Stoops returning to coaching?
I believe both of them are going to happen, but I think the more lucrative of the two is the Warriors Cavs 4.
You might get better odds on Bob Stoops.
I might get better odds on Bob Stoops, and Stoops has sort of made it clear, look, this isn't about his health. He just wants to.
I'm not sure we'll see him again. I really not.
He's only 56.
That's true, but
coaching gets in your blood, and it's hard to get that stuff out, man. I mean, Dick Vermeil comes back. I mean, it's just they want to coach. Coaches want to coach. It's what they do.
Yeah.
And I feel
if he goes into broadcasting, I think he'll be back. But if he stays away from the game, I think he won't.
I think he's going to relax for about a year, and maybe a year, that's when Notre Dame opens up.
Interesting.
Or Iowa.
Or Alabama.
He's from Iowa.
3 years down
let me
the
tell you
road,
what,
Alabama.
I'd take him right now.
I would take him.
Let me say, everybody can talk about, well, he loses the big game. They're in the conversation every year.
Yeah.
They're in it every year.
They're losing to some pretty good teams.
I lived through Mike Shula. I will take Bob Stoops all day and twice on Sundays.
Less surprising, Dennis Rodman trying to broker peace with North Korea, or the Houston Astros being 44-21?
I'm going to say it's less surprising that Dennis Rodman is trying to broker a deal with North Korea. I mean, I don't think he's been to North Korea a few times.
Yeah, he has. Apparently they're buddies.
And why am I surprised about the Houston Astros? I mean,
they're the best record in baseball.
But see, you never know about baseball. None of this matters. They're only 65 games in. They didn't even reach the halfway mark.
That's true.
So, I mean, no, it's not even surprising to me. I mean, baseball doesn't mean anything. It's 44-21, and we know nothing.
We know a lot because the Braves are not going to be there. More impressive, a no-hitter. Edison Valquez had the first one for the Miami Marlins the other day. Or 4 home runs in one game, Scooter Gennett from the Cincinnati Reds.
I'm going to say the 4 home runs in one game because I have heard of a lot of no-hitters recently. Now, not this year, obviously, but there have been more no-hitters. They used to be the unicorn of baseball. Like, nobody ever got to see one. Well, I guess because everybody was juicing.
Unless Nolan Rhymes pitched.
Yeah, and I guess because everybody was juicing. And now the pitchers have sort of caught back up, and they're the more dominant force. And I've just seen some no-hitters. I mean, it's still a big deal, but it's kind of like a 360 dunk. I mean, I've seen a lot of 360 dunks now, and it's not. But 4 home runs, I don't hear that a lot.
You know how many times it's happened?
How many?
17.
Okay, how many no-hitters have they
baseball?
been?
I don't know, but a lot more than that.
I agree. So, I mean, I'm going to go the 4.
Nolan Ryan had 7 by himself.
Okay, well, I'm going to say the 4 no-hitters.
But I mean, 4 at bats, but you got to face, 27.
First of all, again, all these stupid rules in baseball. I would be much happier in the stands if a guy already had 3 home runs, he comes up to bat, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can get fired up. But if you got a pitcher that's throwing a no-hitter, well, wherever you were sitting when he struck out the last guy, you got to stay sitting there. There are all these. You can't talk to him. You can't even look at him. You can't do it. There are all these unwritten rules, these taboos. You can't even get near him because you're going to jinx it. It makes no sense. And they start these about the 6th inning.
You can't talk about it either. I put this one on there just to be acerbic because it made me a little miffed when they talked about it so much today. Less important issue, whether the Warriors go to the White House or the amount of lint in my pocket.
I think the lint in your pocket is less important, but I'm sort of like you. I wish it weren't a big deal. I don't care if you're on the Warriors and you don't want to go. I feel like the Warriors as an organization should go. I feel like it's just so disrespectful to the office, no matter who's there, no matter what your politics are. I mean, in the end, we're all in the same country, so let's try and pull it together and just go accept congratulations from the President of our United States, okay? I don't care what you think. But if you as an individual want to make a statement, what I was thinking about with this question is, what if there are like 2 guys on the Warriors and they're like, look, or then maybe they voted for Trump, maybe they like Trump, or maybe they're just sort of indifferent. And like a lot of us out here are going, I still kind of want to see where all this thing goes. I mean, there have been some positives, there have been some negatives. I can see why people dislike him. He rubs people the wrong way. But, it's only been several months. Let's just see how this thing pans out. I feel like they would bully him into saying, I'm sorry.
No,
but I feel
ahead.
Like they would bully those people into saying, well, we as a team decided not to go. And I think that's wrong.
I hope this stops all championship teams from going to the White House because I'm about sick of the White House and Washington being more about who won a championship. Okay. Get to work. Do your job. Who cares who won the NBA title?
No, I'm with you on that. Look,
or college. I mean, stop it altogether.
I got tired of watching Barack Obama fill out his bracket.
Yeah.
And I mean, for that matter, I'm tired of watching Donald Trump go play golf. Yeah. Quit playing golf. We've got some issues.
Yeah.
We
got more than one.
Pass a bill, a law, do something. I mean, don't worry about handing out or getting a jersey with Trump on the back of it.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I think that's a good idea.
I hope this starts a trend. Nobody goes. And maybe we can just end that whole mess altogether. All right, up against the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Lakeside Marina and Watercraft Rentals have spring fever and are happy to announce that Bennington is back. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek is now Lake Martin's Bennington pontoon dealer with all models of Bennington pontoons that deliver speed, power, and stability with their elliptical sport packages and best-in-class styling and luxury. See the full line now for best selection as well as the all-new personal watercraft from Kawasaki. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek, #1 for a reason. Lakeside Marina is also your authorized Easy Go kart dealer for Lake Martin.
Got your eye on a new Nissan? It's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017s. Get up to $5,000 off MSRP on the new Rogue SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 and exit 51.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
Whether it's a walk-off home run, a game-winning touchdown, or a buzzer beater, make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup. Located in downtown Sylacauga and a short drive from Highway 280, Jay's has the food you're looking for. Whether it's wings, fingers, burgers, or salads, they have it all. Come bring your family for a great meal, come hang out with your friends for the big game, or call them at 256-207-0700 to place your order. Make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup.
Hines 57.
This segment of Sportz Blitz is brought to you by Glenn Smith Automotive, carrying a full line of vehicle brands from Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Toyota. Highway 280 in Sylacauga and Columbus Parkway in Opelika. Glenn Smith, get ready to smile.
Welcome back to Sportz Blitz Live. Wrapping things up here. Maybe one segment left, maybe two. I don't know. We'll play it by
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see
That may be another game.
We'll see how it goes.
How many segments we got left?
That's right. One day in the future, we're going to do what is wrong with people. And we're going to pull up some YouTube clips and just talk about what's wrong with people.
Speaking, and I'm going to do one on myself really quickly if I can. So I went to Nashville the other night. I drove to Louisville.
I thought you were talking about jumping in the pool.
No, that's another story. But I drove to Louisville, and I drive back to Nashville because I got to go to, long story. So I stop in Nashville, go to a hotel, go to a Marriott Courtyard, and I walk in, and the lady says, we got plenty of rooms, come on in. And she said, we got you on the third floor. And I said, could you put me on the first? She said, oh, you're scared of heights? That's kind of weird for a tall guy. And I said, no. I just know Marriott Courtyards have the world's slowest elevators, and I hate getting on the elevator because it takes so long for the door to close, and then y'all have that long pause between beeps and floors, and on the third floor it's going to take me like an extra 2 or 3 seconds every time I either go up or down. I mean, she looked at me so crazily. And then I thought to myself, this is so incriminating about my own impatience. And because really that is the feeling, I get this anxiety of when I go to a Courtyard and I hit the elevator button, it takes, I'm going to say it's 2 seconds longer than any average elevator. And it's so irritating to me.
Really?
That's really, I know it's pathetic, so don't call in, tell me how pathetic I am. I get it, I'm pathetic. But I'm just saying, you're talking about what's wrong with people, that's what's wrong with me.
That sounds like an Otis problem.
It is, yeah, I'm fed up with Otis, Otis elevators.
All right, let's do a little, we're going to let Luke predict the future. Ooh. All right.
We need a sound guy.
What kind of success will Lincoln Riley have at Oklahoma?
I think success. And I think that's his. You see how I worked in a little abbreviation there. But I feel like he'll be okay. I don't think Lincoln Riley is going to be the answer necessarily, but I think he will be pretty good. You know, let's not forget that Bob Stoops came to Oklahoma from being an assistant at Florida. And his first season, he goes 7-5. People forget that he lost his first bowl game to Deuce McAllister and Ole Miss. Next year, he wins the national championship, beats Florida State 13-2 in the original game of the century, one of many games of the century. And so then he got it going. But I don't think Lincoln Riley is that guy.
No 18 years for him.
I don't think so. I feel like Lincoln Riley is going to be okay. He's got a Frank Solich feel about him, you know, where he goes a lot of 9-4s and people aren't happy. And then Oklahoma's going to fire him, and then they're going to get really unhappy when they realize, oh, things could have been a lot worse.
Only difference between him and Frank Solich is about 50 years.
Yep, that's true.
Predict the future. Who will be the next great coach, any sport, to hang up their whistle?
And you actually put 4 on there, and I ranked them. I said, okay. I think Popovich will go first. Because I think he started out as a GM, I think. And I think he may end up going back that route or just retiring altogether. I put Meyer second because any moment now that heart palpitation could kick back up. I put Belichick third just because I think when Tom Brady goes, how much longer will he want to stay? And then I put Nick Saban fourth because he's a cyborg.
That's probably about right. How much longer will Hugh Freeze be in Oxford?
This is a matter of weeks, if not months. It ain't years.
No.
So I'm going to say, if you put the over-under at midway through October, I'm going to say under.
Wow. So he doesn't last.
I think things are about to get really dicey.
Yeah.
Nasty.
There's been so many, we're sticking with this guy, that, yeah, something's about to fall. Predict the future. What 2 teams will play for the College World Series title?
This is a total
shot in the
dart in the dark. And I'm going to say Oregon State, Louisville. I think record-wise, they may be the 2 best teams.
They are.
In this. And I knew Oregon State was. I didn't know Louisville was until I looked back. But I knew Louisville had been pretty good all this year. I don't have any faith in the SEC teams that got there. Florida, obviously, is pretty strong. But I think that would be an interesting series. I'm probably not going to watch it. I think it's pretty interesting. And the Oregon State thing, again, I'm taking a bit of a flyer despite their record because of their off-the-diamond issues with the guy and the
best pitcher.
Yeah, and the sexual
misconduct
with the registered sex offender with a
something that happened when
six-year-old cousin.
He was 13 or something like that, and he, quote unquote, I don't know what, molested.
Yeah, and again,
6-year-old.
That's the other thing is like this. The sexual predator thing, there's such a big umbrella for that now, and you hear that and you immediately think the worst. But look, when somebody's 6, there's no room for ambiguity. I mean, you did something pretty horrific.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he was 13 and she was 13, and it was just some, I can see. But if a 6-year-old, there's no wiggle room here.
No,
I mean, it's terrible.
It's bad. And I don't know what happens with that kid from here on out.
Yeah.
But just for the record, Cal State Fullerton takes on Oregon State on Saturday. Florida State will play LSU on Saturday, and then on Sunday, Texas A&M and Louisville, and then TCU and the Florida Gators will be the night game on Sunday.
Please just don't be Cal State Fullerton and TCU.
Oh, I think that would be great. Well, now look again. You're selling Cal State Fullerton short. They are a powerhouse. They've won like 7 College World Series titles.
I just want a name brand, man.
They are a name brand in college baseball.
I want a real name. I want a Power 5 teams.
You want your name brand.
I want 2 Power 5 teams.
All right. What 2 MLB teams will meet in the World Series?
I mean, it's so crazy that you're asking me this question. We are 65 games in, and as I said earlier, and we don't know any more now than we knew before. Somebody could get on a roll and win 10 straight. Because I looked at the standings, everybody, the leaders are like 65%. This is what baseball people love, I know. Yeah. And I cannot stand it. I mean, who are you shooting for? I mean, it's just the season is just too long.
What are you shooting for, record-wise?
I mean, it's crazy. We're a third of the way through the season, man. This is a grind.
It absolutely is. So you got no clue.
I have no clue.
You're not even going to answer the question.
I want the Yankees in there, so I'll say the Yankees.
Nationals. Just say the Nationals.
I don't want a Yankees-Nationals matchup because it'll start all the talk of baseball is back and
Colorado Rockies.
I would love a Rockies-Yankees matchup.
Well,
I can dig that.
It could happen.
I've been to Coors Field and took a tour of it. It was cool.
But
I'll tell you, I also went to Chavez Ravine at Dodger Stadium. It was a dump. So not all baseball stadiums are great. I mean, I know it's probably historic and whatever, but Coors Field to Dodger Stadium, there's no comparison. Coors Field all day.
That's pretty much going to wrap up Sports Blitz Live. We again appreciate so much all of you out there joining us. For Luke Robinson, I'm Andy Graham. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.
Auburn Opelika has that perfect something for you. From sophisticated chic boutiques to exceptional dining, there's a retailer or restaurant to make your next visit special. Whether it's elegant fine dining or freshly squeezed lemonade, you'll find the perfect fit for every taste and budget. The food's great and the shopping is too, so be sure to check out the wide array of gifts, decor, clothing, and more. For every occasion, Auburn Opelika has what you're looking for. Let's make your next trip memorable. Visit Auburn Opelika.
When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing, LLC. For over 20 years, our mission has been to provide the best possible service available in the industry, and we specialize in solving difficult problems. We offer a wide range of services, such as installation, service, repair, and replacement of common fixtures, water heaters, toilets, faucets, drains, sewer lines, and septic tank pumping and cleaning services. Unlike many companies, our septic tank services include field line testing. Our knowledgeable staff will be happy to answer any of your questions. So call A&M Plumbing, LLC today.
If you had $6,000, how would you spend it?
I'd pay bills.
How about a new car? Vacation!
At Hyundai of Auburn today, you can get the new car and do the other things.
What? How?
Pick out your dream car and drive away with as much as $6,000 to spend however you'd like.
America's best warranty and $6,000?
Luxury and $6,000.
Be thinking how to spend your $6,000. HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Vacation!
Jackson Refrigeration is Central East Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With rapid response time and on-budget pricing, we're Central East Alabama's and the area's authorized Goodman heating and air dealer. We make your peace of mind easy and give you peace of mind when it comes to your heating and air needs. As a Superior Solutions dealer, Jackson Refrigeration can help save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Jackson Refrigeration works on all existing brands and units and has the team to solve your heating and cooling needs, no matter the season.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it